So I actually grew up in northern Maine, so beautiful, beautiful area. I love it. When I was younger, I used to, be obsessed with trucks and cars, and then it kind of got into wanting to help people. I started in retail pharmacy. When I was in high school, I worked in retail. I actually learned teching by the trade. From there, I actually found home infusion, and I've been in home infusion now for over a decade. Retail is, I say, easier compared to home infusion or working just in a clean room environment. When you think about a clean room, you have to have certain ISO classifications, so the room is actually down to a certain level as far as your humidity, your pressures, really just so that we don't see any bacteria, fungal growth, things of that nature. We keep it a certain temperature. And then as a tech, you're also garbing up, so you have a full outfit on, as opposed to retail. I could show up like I'm dressed today and be able to do the job. You have to learn how to put gloves on, you have to be sterile. Aseptic technique is a really big factor in home infusion, so it's quite different in the sense of the techniques that you need. When you think about compounding, I refer to it as a mad scientist, right? Because again, we have all of the syringes, the vials, the bags, everything that's the final product. So you could start with something, for example, like a ceftriaxone, an antibiotic. We would reconstitute the vials. From there, once you've made that into solution, we can then withdraw that out of the vial, whether we keep it in a syringe, whether we put it in elastomeric, whatever form of delivery has been discussed, that's what we're doing in the clean room for compounding. I think as a technician, sometimes we feel like we hit a ceiling where we can't go any further. I've been a big proponent of pushing career ladders, which we do have. So I think retail really doesn't offer career ladders. I think once you go into retail, you walk in, you're counting the pills, that's kind of where things stand. Maybe you jump up to a supervisor. But in home infusion and in this type of setting, it really gives us the ability to make those tiered levels. You have a bigger opportunity to grow, I think, on home infusion, sterile compounding side than you really do in retail. When I started in home infusion, I was an entry-level technician. So my day consisted of, coming in, I would go into my clean room, mix patient medication. From there, there was the availability of going into a lead position. So from there, I kind of jumped into that position, really kind of took it and excelled. And then now they developed the training and quality specialist, which is now the position that I sit in. There's a lot that goes into what I do daily. So whether it's I'm working with our supervisor team of our technician clean rooms, making sure that proper regulatory requirements are being followed. I work a lot in writing standard operating procedures, building the actual training platforms that our technicians are going through. I work a lot behind the scenes. I do some hands-on with some new staff, but a lot of times I'm working in our simulated clean room to train our supervisors to then train our staff within the clean rooms. I think what I like most is it's always a new challenge every day, but I also like the fact that I'm helping somebody every single day with what I do. I always like to think sometimes after an 8-hour workday, you want to go home, but you need to make that last medication. And then I tend to think that me standing there for another hour is nothing what these patients are going through. Working a lot with cancer as well in chemotherapy, I think that's another kind of close to home thing. For me, it's about helping somebody's mom, grandmother, mother, father, sister, brother. It's a very rewarding job, I think. I think it's important to get more folks on this side of pharmacy. It is a hard job. There are times when, again, you're garbed up, you're in a clean room, you see people outside the window that are just sitting at their desk, and sometimes you're like, gosh, I wish I was there, but I say do it. I think you'll be surprised what you see the outcome is once you actually do jump into home infusion.